Well, the February 2022 ban list has just showed up, and I do have to say I do like some of these changes, but I do see most of it is just to sell product for the next set. It makes sense, but anyway, let's begin with the ban list. So, for the newly forbidden, first it's arch nemesis Protoss. Understandable, it's generic, and in many ways the most viable of the arch nemesis. I always really hate these hits on archetype related cards, especially when they get banned because it hurts the archetype itself. It is understandable since it's generic, although I would have liked it if they decided to just hit it for every other deck except for its own archetype, like how Cardfight would do it. A choice type restriction, but understandable. Eva, it's a play extender for pretty much any fairy deck. Samorg Bird of Sovereignty. Understandable on how strong it is for Wing Beast decks, although it's another one of these archetype cards that probably should have been staying with its own archetype. And then Imperial Order. This one's the most understandable one because you don't want to let anyone not be able to play the game. And then for newly limited, first off we got Destrudo. I do like this one, although I don't think going back to 1 really matters too much as this is mostly more of a tech card than anything, and I do tech it at 1 in some cases, but this one I do like. Fairy Tale Snow. Really like this one for any of those banish heavy decks. Astrograph Sorcerer. Another one of those archetype cards which I do not understand why needs to be banned. Luna Light Tiger. Another one of those archetype cards that I don't understand why needs to be banned. Lyrilisk Recital Starling. At least this one did not get directly banned, and it can become very powerful. Monster Gate. Really understandable. A lot of decks actually have different levels now. A lot of graveyard related effects, and also there are monsters that cannot be special summoned but can special summon themselves from the graveyard anyway. And finally, Pot of Desires. It's just a consistency draw card. Many people would play 1 or 2, but it's just less likely chance to draw it, so this is okay. And then to the new semi-limited, A Hero's Live. This one's fine for heroes. Fusion Destiny. I'm really surprised they didn't ban this considering the OCG decided to ban it, especially because it's basically a future fusion for any Destiny hero, except that you summon that Destiny hero instantly. Still an archetype related card, but I think this one should have at least be limited. Nadir Servant. Yes, because we need to hit those consistency searcher cards on those meta decks, right? Solomon Great Circle. A little understandable even though it is a consistency search card, but it is a quick play, which does give a lot more advantages, but at least they didn't straight up limit it to 1 or ban it. And then Scapegoat. Not many people really play this now, but it's fine. Finally, no longer in the list, Danger Nessie. This is fine, not really in the meta anymore. Performapal Skolopat Joker. Another fine one, although I see this one as more promotional material for Dimension Force, although I don't really see people playing 3 anymore considering that the deck is just lacking space. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. Not as relevant and also errata, so it's fine. Emergency Teleport. This is probably just more promotional material just for the Grand Creators because of Punk, and this is way better than any consistency search card that I've seen. Rakeki, no longer as relevant. Skill Drain. This is okay. Depending on the deck, it could probably just screw over just your opponent, but this is fine overall since it also screws up you. So this is the new Yu-Gi-Oh! February 2022 ban list. What do you think of it? Overall, I do like some of these changes. Still really hate the banning of archetype related cards. Some of them are understandable for being generic, but I really wish that Yu-Gi-Oh! Starts doing more restriction lists like Vanguard would do. I know in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a little more difficult considering that cards could be played in any deck, but I would like some ruling where you cannot play this card in any deck except for this one specific archetype. It just really hurts the archetype overall that is meant with that card. I know it's not perfect or anything, it could make the archetype too powerful, and that I can understand. I'm just saying that it's just hurtful to the player of the archetype itself. Overall, it's decent. My favorite changes is getting back to Destrudo and getting some of those archetype related cards back. But on that, that's it for this, and see you all next time.